Sunday morning here in Kuala Lumpur, and a beautiful Sunday morning, and it's Culture Vulture Day because I'm heading to the National Art Gallery. I've never been to the National Art Gallery in Kuala Lumpur, so it should be an interesting experience. It's located at Titiwangsa. There's a lake there, and also the Culture Palace, which is one of the major performing arts centers in Kuala Lumpur. I was thinking I'd like to see a show there, so at the same time that I go to the art gallery, I guess I'll check out the Culture Palace and maybe look into the schedule, see if there's a show that I can take in. All my journeys begin at the Pasar Seni MRT station, or LRT station, and this one is no exception. I took the LRT from Pasar Seni, just one stop up to Masjid Jamek, and I transferred here to the Sri Petaling Ampang line. And this stop is named after this mosque that you see here, the Masjid Jamek, and it is the oldest mosque in Kuala Lumpur. One thing I've noticed over the years in Asia is that the advertising can be a lot more intense than what I'm used to back in Canada. This ad here is for kind of acne treatment, and the artwork they chose is just absolutely horrifying. I have to wonder whether that's a good marketing strategy or not. It certainly demonstrates when you would use this product, but at the same time, it's not really a pleasant image to look at, and to have it associated with your Garden of Eden product. Yeah, it's a good, I assume they've done studies. Maybe this is effective, but somehow I can't help but think a picture of someone with clear skin would be a more effective advertisement. Titiwangsa. We've arrived at Titiwangsa station, and from here it's a bit of a walk to get to the Titiwangsa Park, where the National Art Gallery is located. I think it's about 2 kilometers if you want to go on foot, which of course I do. And you have to get over a major highway system. So it's a little bit of a roundabout route to find a way to get over the highway. More and more I'm in awe of Google Maps and how it has changed things for me. I remember back in the old days trying to get from A to B, it was so difficult with your paper maps. And the problem always was you never knew where you were. You could see on the map exactly where you wanted to go, but that did you no good at all if you had no sense of the relative position where you were compared to where you wanted to go. but at least Google Maps shows you exactly where you are, and you can find your way to where you want to go. And when it comes to Google Maps, a key feature is that the little symbol that shows your location also shows you the direction you're facing, and that's really important too. As you can see, I'm beside a pretty major highway system, and I think to get across it I have to go in this direction, and then I finally get to a road that cuts underneath. So that's where I'm heading, and I think I'm heading in the right direction. Nope, I'm heading in the wrong direction entirely. I have to go that way. So back to the LRT station, and we got to get reoriented. There was a time that I prided myself on my sense of direction. I had this probably misguided idea that I always knew which way north was, and I could always get oriented. Even if I didn't know what road to take, I knew the direction. But my internal compass doesn't seem to work anymore, and I keep going in the wrong direction completely. Anyway, I seem to be back on the right track, and oddly enough, Google Maps has pointed me in the direction of a walking path. And here it is here. Nice little path going beside a river. There was a time in my life when I probably would never have gone to the National Art Gallery in any country. But a few years ago when I was living in Taiwan, I was in Taipei, and towards the end of my time there, I just got this idea to start checking out art galleries and symphony orchestra and plays and all this kind of theater and art scene, which I'd never really done before. And it turned out to be a really great idea. There was so much going on in Taipei. And I think earlier I had this idea that to go to an art gallery, you had to be serious about art. You know, you had to go there with this grim attitude and appreciate the art. And it all seemed like hard work. But then I figured out it's really just a lot of fun. You don't have to take it that seriously. And in a lot of these art galleries, they have their permanent exhibition of artists from that country. But then every single weekend there will be a new display from artists from all over the world or local artists. And I ended up with this routine on a Saturday or Sunday morning where I would hit 4 or 5 art galleries in my own neighborhood and just see what new exhibits were on display. And it was a really fun thing to do. Nope, wrong again. I was following this path along the river and I hit a dead end. You really can't go any further along this way. All I could do is take this bridge across the river, and I don't want to go there because that takes me away from the art gallery. I checked Google Maps again, and I think they want me to follow the road, which is over that way. But from here, there's no way to get to that road. Basically, you got a barbed wire fence. So I have to turn around again and walk all the way back to the MRT station to get around this complex and get to the road. But hey, I got to see a nice riverside here. Got some guys fishing on the bridge over there. Nice temple nestled here at the riverside. Yesterday I went to the Chow Kit market, and I spent a lot of time in the wet market where they were cutting up a lot of fish and chicken and beef and pork. And my feet got soaking wet with all the water spilling over from the counters where they were cutting up all the fish. I intended to wash my sandals afterwards, but I totally forgot. So this morning when I put them on, I realized there was a distinct fish odor coming from my feet. And hopefully it's not too powerful. Otherwise I'll be bothering people at the National Art Gallery today. I'm making progress on my journey, and I think I got to the spot that Google Maps was leading me to. Here's a pedestrian bridge to get me over top of the highway, and then heading in that direction. And I love a good pedestrian bridge. And that was me when I was riding my bicycle in Kuala Lumpur. always have to carry your bike up the stairs and over the bridge. I made it across the highway safely, and on the pedestrian bridge I stopped to do a little bit of a time lapse of the traffic. Yeah, that was interesting. But it's quite something though, the roar of traffic, how much it tires you out. It's like I was only up there for maybe half an hour total, and just the pounding sound, it's like the non-stop roar of traffic really has a physical toll on your body, I find. I'm not sure why that is. It's just sound, right? And yet it becomes so oppressive after a while. It can really drive you mad, I think, if you stay there much longer. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, since this is Kuala Lumpur, the city being built, the city under construction. I reached Titiwangsa, and according to Google Maps, I've reached the point where I should get a beautiful view of the Titiwangsa lake. And the whole thing is surrounded by construction barriers, so I can still see the lake. I just have to get up on tippy toe to look across, so you can see the lake there. But this whole area appears to be under construction. Kuala Lumpur, you've never let me down, at least when it comes to construction. And there it is over there, the beautiful Titiwangsa Lake. Man, I wonder what they're doing though. Why would they have to essentially put a wall around the entire lake? I can see it goes all the way to the far end there, like the whole thing is enclosed. What is going on in there? So if I thought I was going for a little paddle boat ride across the lake, think again. You're not getting anywhere. You're not getting anywhere near that lake today. We'll see if the wall goes around the National Art Gallery. I don't think so. And I think I stumbled across the Palace of Culture here. And there it is. I don't know how much you can see on the video because I'm shooting directly into the sun. I'm still waiting for a security guard to start yelling at me. I always feel that way when I come into one of these places, especially at a time like this when there's nobody here. I mean, nothing is open, no people around anywhere. So it just makes me think I'm not supposed to be here, and I'm waiting for someone to start yelling at me. So I guess this is the local name, Istana Budaya, and I assume that translates into a culture palace. And the door was open, so I could come inside and see the lobby area of the culture palace. There's quite a famous performance going on right now called Ola Bola, the musical. And some other acts coming here. We have Remembering Whitney, March 22nd, and it looks like the Phantom of the Opera is coming June 15th. remember reading about Ola Bola. I don't remember the story exactly, but it was something about the Malaysian national soccer team getting into the World Cup or something like that. They made it into a big international competition and they made a musical about it. There you go. I get excited just being in the lobby of a place like this and looking at the doors. Love to come here for a performance of some kind. I still feel like I'm doing something wrong, like I'm not supposed to be in here. But there's a large group of school children here on a tour. And all the stairs seem to be open, so I'm heading up as high as I can go before a security guard tells me I can't go any higher. I remember I went to a lot of shows in places like this in Taipei, and every time it was so much fun. You have your ticket and you're trying to figure out where to go. You know, are you in the upper circle? Are you in the lower balcony? Are you on the main floor, you know? And it was always really exciting to track down your seat and see where you're going to be sitting for the performance. And I found a dark stairway going up to another level. And since the lights are off, probably not supposed to be here, but I want to see where it goes. Oh, it's open. I thought the doors would be closed up here. One odd thing about Malaysia that I run into all the time, everywhere I go, it's a stupid thing, but it happens all the time. Every time I need to use a bathroom, wherever I am, the bathroom is being cleaned. I don't know how that happens. It happens in the MRT and LRT all the time, where I plan on using the bathroom. I find the bathroom in the station, and there will be a cleaning crew inside it. I'll come back to that same station a week later, still a cleaning crew inside. And I appreciate a nice, clean bathroom, who doesn't? But it boggles my mind how often they're being cleaned. I just tried to go into the bathroom here inside the Culture Palace, and they're all closed off because there are cleaning crews inside. Maybe I just have the knack, the timing I always need a place when it's closed. One of my many talents. There it is behind me, the Culture Palace. Yeah, popping in there for a visit was a nice little surprise on my trip to the National Gallery. I was really glad the doors were open. I got to take a look around inside. As I said a couple of times already, I'd love to come back for a performance of some kind. And there's another view of the rooftop of the Culture Palace. And up ahead here, I think, is the National Art Gallery. They're almost there. Strategically speaking, I might have made a mistake by walking to the art gallery, because one thing you tend to do in art galleries is a lot of walking, and my legs are already a little bit tired, and I'm not even there yet. What they need is a new type of art gallery where the art comes to you. You just sit in a nice lazy boy chair with a cold drink, and then the walls move around you, kind of like a conveyor belt, and just bring the art to you. That's what I need. legs can take it. There it is, the National Art Gallery, Balai Seni Negara. And it's actually right beside the Culture Palace. I didn't realize the two of them were so close together. Here I am inside the main entrance to the National Art Gallery. I have my visitor's sticker. I've got my guide and map. And here is the entrance. Very nice. And they have a nice cafe out on the balcony as you come in. So I'm sure gonna have a cup of coffee or something there when I leave. So far, I'm enjoying myself very much here at the National Art Gallery. This is my favorite kind of art, if I can be said to have a favorite kind of art. More like sculptures and installations and things like that, you know, as opposed to paintings and drawings. I love stuff like this. We have a chair completely encased in plexiglass cubes. Why would you do that? And what does it mean? I don't really know. It doesn't really matter, does it? I just like the image that it portrays. It's like taking ordinary objects and putting them in an unusual perspective, and you sort of see them in a new light. Here's an interesting surprise. It's an entire exhibit on wall graffiti. And here are some pictures of some of the graffiti, I assume are from around Kuala Lumpur. It looks like the walls around the different rivers in Kuala Lumpur. I bet if I sat here and watched all of it, I would see quite a few pieces that I recognize. That's it for my visit to the Culture Palace and the National Art Gallery. I'm crossing the highway on this new pedestrian bridge behind me. I don't really know where it's going. According to the map, it only goes to a bus station or a bus stop. But I'm hoping I'll be able to keep going in that direction and work my way to an LRT, an MRT, or a monorail. I don't care. Something like that. Here's the National Art Gallery behind me. There it is there. After my visit to the galleries, I stopped here for an iced cappuccino, which was very good. I really enjoyed my visit to the gallery. I love those sorts of things. The museum is actually free, and apparently you're allowed to bring in a camera. Nobody had a problem with my camera going inside, so that was good. So that was a successful little trip. Now I'm heading back to my hostel. I'm crossing this busy highway. You can hear the traffic noise, and I'm going to try and make my way to perhaps the Titiwangsa LRT stop or monorail stop. I just shot a couple of traffic time lapses from up on that pedestrian bridge near the National Art Gallery. And one thing I should say is that I have to give Malaysian drivers props, you know. They face some really difficult conditions, but I never see anybody get upset. I never see any road rage. Nobody ever honks their horn. And on this highway, there was a very busy lane coming in, and all the drivers had to merge with the traffic on the highway. And they merged so smoothly. Every single driver on the highway would slow down, let somebody in front of them, they go. The next person would slow down, let someone in. Just steady, steady, steady. Everybody merged perfectly. And yeah, everybody slowed down to let people in. Nobody got angry. I even saw one guy miss his turnoff. I might put that time lapse in. It's way at the end of the time lapse. You'll see a black car on the far right side. He missed his turnoff. He stopped dead in the middle of the highway, and he started going in reverse against traffic to try and get back to his turnoff. And nobody got upset with him. They all just kind of went around him, and he slowly worked his way backwards. There was even an ambulance coming up behind him with sirens blaring. But nobody got angry, you know, nobody honked their horn. He finally got back to his intersection, then he turned into the lane, and he cut off a guy on a motorcycle. And even the guy on the motorcycle didn't get upset. Didn't give him the finger, didn't flip him off, didn't beat on his mirror, you know. In Canada or the United States, I think driving like that would get you killed. Certainly get people angry with you. But here, everybody stays calm and patient. It's pretty amazing to see. When I left from the National Art Gallery, I decided to go by a different route, heading home again. And I found a pedestrian bridge right outside the gallery that took me across the highway. And then it was a relatively short distance to here, the Chow Kit monorail station. So Google Maps actually led me down because it gave me a worse route to get there than one that I found on my own. So here I am at the Chow Kit monorail station and heading back to my hostel. And so I'm back at Pasar Seni, and that brings us to the end of another small adventure in Kuala Lumpur. A trip to the National Gallery and the Culture Palace was a nice little bonus there that I wasn't expecting. So thanks for coming with me to the art gallery. Hope you enjoyed that little trip, and I'll see you in the next video. The bonus question for the last video was about Malaysian superstar Sudirman. I asked you, what was the name of the song that Sudirman performed at the Asian Popular Music Awards in London? Answer: the song was called 1,000 Million Smiles. The bonus question for this video is about Ola Bola and the Malaysian national football team. The musical Ola Bola is about how the Malaysian national football team qualified for the 1980 Olympics in Moscow. The team didn't actually go to the Olympics that year because Malaysia boycotted the Olympics. However, this wasn't the first time that Malaysia qualified for the Olympics in football. The Malaysian football team qualified for the Olympics once before. When did that happen? What year did the Malaysian football team qualify for the Olympics? Put your answer in the comments below. Answer at the end of the next video. One thing I've learned over the years is that I really can't trust my own senses. My various senses are not that strong. I've realized that my sense of smell, for example, is really weak. So other people will smell things all around me and I don't smell them at all. So that taught me that I kind of have to be careful. For example, after several days of hard cycling or something, I don't think I smell bad because I don't smell anything. But you can't really count on that because other people who have a normal sense of smell are probably able to smell you quite clearly. So yeah, my weak senses, I have to remember that I don't exactly have the senses of a daredevil or anything like that. This is the rare walking travel tip. Travel tip 31, one word, podcasts. A long time ago, I had a job on a construction site in northern British Columbia, and the owner of the construction company, the man that I worked with, he listened to CBC radio all day while we worked. And that was my introduction to Canadian public radio, similar to the American, NPR station and the British BBC. And it opened up a whole new world to me. I became addicted to Canadian public radio. And then when I started traveling and living in Asia, one of the things I missed most was Canadian public radio. I couldn't listen to it anymore when I was living in South Korea until the age age of podcasts came around, and I realized I could download all of my favorite radio programs as podcasts and listen to them anywhere in the world. And that has been an amazing experience. So if you don't know about podcasts, check them out. It's a great thing to listen to while you're traveling. You can listen to them for entertainment purposes, movie reviews. You can get cultural podcasts, political ones, scientific ones. Any subject that you're interested in, you can find a podcast about it. Even language learning via podcast. I did that when I was in Sumatra. I downloaded a very good Bahasa Indonesia language learning podcast, and that got me through a lot of days just learning the numbers, learning the names of food, and then how to ask questions and things like that. So if you don't know about podcasts, check them out. All you have to do is find a podcast app, put it on your phone, and you're good to go. Start searching for podcasts you like, subscribe to them. They download automatically when you have a Wi-Fi connection, or you can use your data plan if you want, and your whole world will get better with podcasts.